It doesn't matter whether you play well, you'd rather win. You know, I think that's the essential thing about a team game, is that I think you would accept not playing well and getting in the final and winning. You know, I'd rather be sat at home now with the gold medal of sitting in the Tri-Nations final than the trophy of winning the international four, because you know, that's the main aim of being in a team. You know, and that's the best feeling about playing in a team, is winning as a team together.
The Super League Grand Final, Rugby League's domestic showpiece. In 2 weeks, many of those involved will be lining up for Great Britain, some 12,000 miles from Manchester, in their first game of the 2006 Tri-Nations. They are the stars of the game in the UK, but the next 6 weeks will prove to be the ultimate test of their character and spirit. The grand finalists from St Helens and Hull are the second batch of arrivals from the UK shores. Players not involved in Manchester had flown into Sydney a week earlier. Now the late arrivals include Great Britain head coach Brian Noble.
Abby, can somebody tell me why 10 members of staff came out last week and there's 500 bags to bring through this week? Thank you very much. It's a great time for sport, you know. In Australia, you know, both with ourselves coming across and the Ashes boys as well, so we're really hopeful we're going to do well in both.
It is Great Britain's first extended tour of Australia and New Zealand for 14 years, and will be the toughest ever examination of their physical and mental resilience.
War without death.
There's times when you feel like you just want to die.
The best versus the best.
Whatever it takes, they're going to do it.
Success for us would be immense down here.
They want your blood, they don't like us.
People can be a little bit arrogant, a bit cocky.
Just cannot see them winning.
We don't deserve the amount of disrespect that they feel that they can give us.
Just be competitive.
Let's stick together and be strong as one unit.
Pommy this, pommy that, oh, hey, pommy.
They just have a pop at you, don't they? They try and get one over you.
We're a proud nation, we're a proud set of players.
The reality is we need to win.
Great work and sprint through. Good work, boys.
The most exhilarating contact sport there is.
I'm an home boy, I'm back to back home.
We've just found it, you know, really petty.
I just thought, right, I'm going for you here, you know, I've had enough. I was determined to do whatever it took to win the game.
You think you're talking on the field. You only beat them, you fucking belted them.
Disappointed with the result. Honestly, thought I was acting in self-defence.
I didn't come to Australia for this. I come to Australia for that.
If any normal person tried to jump in and play, they would die.
I felt a bit disappointed that I didn't actually throw a punch.
Great Britain's Rugby League Tri-Nations campaign has been rocked tonight by News halfback Sean Long, has been sent home.
He's gone home for personal reasons.
I feel like I'm laying the lads down.
All the adversity that we have and everything stacked against us, and we're still like this far off getting to the final.
The Great Britain Lions are to play 4 tests in as many weeks against New Zealand and the Aussies. The top 2 then meet in the final. To ready themselves for the challenges ahead and to work off any remaining rust, they play a warm-up game against the representative side. On the pitch, if not the scoreboard, it is decidedly competitive. Great Britain is led by Leeds Rhinos captain Jamie Peacock. Sin bin for fighting, Peacock has laid down a marker for the remainder of the tour. He and his players will not be taking any backward steps.
I think that the modern day warriors, I think physically they've got to be up to it. They've got to have armour on their bodies to survive what they go through. Mentally, because of the intensity of the game, they've got to be really on the button all the time, you know, even in practice, otherwise, you know, they could get hurt. I genuinely feel it's probably the most exhilarating contact sport there is, and the most demanding. I think it's war without death.
Noble's squad includes 2 Australian-based Brits, forward Adrian Morley and winger Brian Carney. Their input and experience will be very important.
Australia, New Zealand, probably considered by most have the best athletes in the world in respect of genetics, and it's probably Australia's national sport as well, so they have a massive pool to pick from, a competition in every 5 or 6 deep in every position, and then we get to play them one week after the next for 5 tests of the highest level of intensity of what I feel is, for intensity levels, the best sport in the world.
That's it, really work hard, get the feet down. Great work, and sprint through. Good work, boys. Let's go! Get back, that's good work, boys. All in the bank, all in the bank.
If we treat the travel as exciting, if we treat the new environment as a full-on tour, as we used to tour probably 14, 15 years ago, and if you treat that excitement and get the players to buy into that, the fact that we're on somebody else's soil and we've got to do really well, we've got to be at our best every weekend and have to travel a couple of days to do it, and if you treat that as an adventure rather than a burdensome challenge, then you can come out the other side, and we're hoping that we've created the right balance with the players to do that.
The first full training session, the first problem.
Glees? Have you seen Glees? Did Glees come on the bus? Glees? Glees?
Great lead. Great line, John Wilkin. Nice little line.
Centre Martin Gleeson caught out by a late change in the schedule.
It's important, especially in the ruck area. Width is what we're looking at, okay? And change your direction against the Kiwis especially.
In Australia, rugby league has a massive media profile. Stuart Fielding is an early casualty of the playful press.
I think we'll smash them. A bit of a Ivan Drago in there from the Rocky films. We'll break you puny Americans or puny Australians, and that's good. We've laughed that off, and I think what we need to do is create our own 4 walls, our own environment within there. We know there's going to be an element of controversy from the Australian press in respect of one word. We can't afford to buy into that.
I think it's kind of a steep learning curve, isn't it? You learn by your mistakes, and mistake is one you think they're decent blokes and they're not. They're absolute arseholes. They just bother you, and they're dead nice to you, and then you'll talk to them and they'll lull you into false sense, and you'll say not something stupid or something ridiculous, just the way you'd normally talk back home, which isn't then turned into WWF and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
They want confrontation, they want excitement, they want a controversy every week in respect of their football, and that's hard for some of our players to come to terms with. They're very, very reticent and nervous when they're speaking to the journalists, but I think they come to terms with it, and I think they're being a bit like Jeffrey Boycott and just straight batting everything, and they're learning very, very quickly, and they have to.
They want your blood, they don't like us. You know, they pommy this, pommy that, pommy, all that nonsense. So they don't like us, but that's fair enough.
While the squad acclimatises to the media presence, there's another equally unwelcome and irritating foe.
Flies? That fly stuff doesn't work, does it? It's just a waste of money, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it keeps the flies away, mate.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it.
They're not the flies. Wait till the fucking flies come.
Good talk, Wello, good talk.
10 different clubs are represented in the squad. So the challenge for the coaching team is to formulate plans and systems that the players can quickly embrace.
We're four!
Really good. Really good. The other team.
Other team's better than
John Wilkin, Lachlan.
Yeah. When JR's jumped, a bit of movement, Lockers has pushed. Where's the next man? Fucking.
Got off the back of it, though, didn't they?
Didn't they just? Yeah. It's good.
Good session, that.
Yeah. Some people pushing the names forward there, isn't there?
I've been telling you. Let's have a serious thing tonight. Yeah.
That's one of the key elements of coaching is getting the balance right and getting your team right. And I remember last year a monumental coaches meeting and sat up till 3:30 one morning selecting the Great Britain side to play the Kiwis, and we got it right. And it was worth it, and it was one of the most stimulating meetings I'd ever been in. Tiring as well, and we went through plenty of coffees, but we got there in the end, and we got the result of the following, the weekend. I don't think it's going to be any different this week.
Fitness levels are still high from the domestic season, but there is still a strong emphasis on gym work. These are some of the toughest and most powerful men in sport, and that doesn't happen by accident.
One of the things with the feedback when we started this adventure through the middle of the year is that you wanted an early Parliament team that you could get your heads around playing and practice, and the opposite of the people that miss out can cover their disappointment and get on with supporting the team that's playing. And as ever, we're as one, and it's a team effort. It's a 25-man, 26-man with Stuart effort was still here. So without further ado, I'm going to name 18 players here, one of which off the bench will drop out. So the full back will be Paul Wellens. On the right, Brian Carney, right centre, Martin Gleeson. Key senior in the left centre with Leon Price on the left wing, Danny Maguire and Sean Long at the halves. Adrian Morley, Terry Newton and Stuart Fielding will be the front row. The right back row will be Jamie Peacock, Gareth Ellis. In the left back row, Sean O'Loughlin locks the scrum. And the 5 blokes, with one to drop out later on in the week, will be James Roby, Gareth Carvell, Lee Gilmore, John Wilkin and Gareth Hock.
Some 17 people get to wear the shirt for hopefully 5 weeks, and that leaves 8 out if my sums are right. I think it's about 8 anyway. And you have to talk to them, you have to keep encouraging them, because at the end of the day, there are opportunities around the corner if they keep working and practicing hard. If they take their bat home and tear their teddy bear up, then there's nothing for them, and they can only be a distraction for the squad.
Stacey Jones, where is he? One more pass. And Nathan Hindmarsh is into Jones with footwork looking for people. So what I'm saying is we might have to do this. In the muck and bullets of a test match, it might be one of our big blokes saying, I don't give a damn. Little razor flare in here, find your front. But when we have the opportunity, when we're shaped up and everybody's pushing, don't lose the opportunity to get to Jones.
We need to be aggressive at marker. You've got to recognise when you see Matai
run from 20 metres in to get to dummy half like this, he's going to run. He ain't coming in to pass. And that's where we're aggressive at marker. See this? What's he doing? What's Marsh doing? Triceps. Taking triceps away, tucking landing gear away, dominates.
Because the golden rule with this team is what they're good at, they can't handle. They won't handle your size with footwork and the speed of your ruck. They won't handle dummy half running. But to do that, the quality of our skill has to be in order in relation to taking the juice out of their tanks. We're clear what we're trying to do. We're clear that the attack this morning in practice. Everybody happy? You bet your life we are. Let's get on the buzz. Thanks, gentlemen.
What we're trying to say to you is get your knees in tight on him. Don't give him any room. To reduce that room, I want you to think about getting your hips in and pinning him with your hips now. So you've taken him in, you've got your knees in tight, and you're pushing down with your hips.
If you're down and you've squeezed his tricep and you're in and you're tight and you pull your hips forward, he's not going to roam out of that. It's impossible.
Because the added weight of all this.
All that, that's it. But Gaz was saying he feels like he's going to go over the top. You know, I said you don't, because you've secured him anyway, your strong base is there. Then your continuation of your work is to pull in tight, because you've still got his triceps and pulling. If you let go of his triceps, he can move more. But once you're pulled in and tight and you've turned there, he can't get no momentum. If you have the ball in this arm and I'm on this side, what they've been doing is trying to get that there, right, this side. But what about this here and that one? Do you know what I mean? And then over. That's what I'm saying. From underneath, because you've locked ball as well, yeah, and it pulls you in and turns, doesn't it?
Nice pitch, Dan. Nice kill, Woody.
Yep.
All done. Still gas. How many of you didn't see the gorilla, by the way? Put your hand up if you didn't see the gorilla, right? Okay, just you want to know who these guys are, just so when you're playing with them, alright? So you can try to work that one out, alright? Okay, so this many people didn't see the gorilla. Who saw the gorilla then? Alright, doesn't matter who's not going to put their hand up, doesn't matter what the fuck we say. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, so let's just watch this. What's the value of not seeing it? Somebody give me an example of what's the value of actually not seeing that gorilla?
More vision.
So, go on, so what's the value for that from the player's perspective? Focus, alright, you're absolutely, why didn't you see the gorilla?
You were focusing on the white.
Okay, so in other words, your mind is being distracted by something else.
If you get 6 or something and someone else gets 43, what are you at least a little bit curious to find out? I mean, he's obviously cheated, right? But how's he done it? How's he got 40 on? So we asked him, so what did you do? He said, well, I don't think I cheated. I listened to what he said, and the guy had said, point and name, and get as many as you can. He said, did anyone make the assumption that you got to name something different every time? And most of us kind of make that assumption, right? Most of us do. Right. And some don't.
Yeah, I did that, like, kind of just went to jump the chair, but I got the wrong way around.
A motivational evening in Manly is the latest opportunity for the squad to relax together and bond.
Okay, go on then, okay. It's okay.
A process that started back in the summer in Leeds.
Snapped it.
Beat that one.
2 fingers on there. Just like that. Just like that.
Go get the arrows then.
Let's go, watch back further.
Again, the emphasis was on fun, but the serious stuff came with the introduction of a surprise guest, Ashes winning England cricket captain Michael Vaughan.
I know from personal experience from playing cricket against them, it's a totally different series. It is unbelievable intensity. And I wanted our senior players last year to just say, look, alright, they're good, we know they're going to play pretty well, but how are we going to react to that? And the senior players are going to have to drive the team, and that's all we talked about leading into the series is whatever happens, we stay like this, our body language is 100% all the time. And at the end of the series, if we do that, we can look in the mirror and say, we gave it our best shot, but if we don't, and if we go missing, and we start to drop, if they get on top, you know, we've only got ourselves to blame.
I'm away from my family for 6-7 weeks. No disrespect, but I want to be with someone who's a mate as well, do you know what I mean?
And I think in the past we've not really had a good piss up together, and when you get a couple of beers down, you let your guard down, and you can really kind of get to know people within a squad. So I think, you know, a good drink, obviously not before a big game, but fucking a good piss up together, nobody out of it, everybody together, even if it's fancy dress or whatever. And you always fancy dress for you, just something to let us head out, and everybody gets to know each other.
A 6 a.m. start for the first travel day of the tour, the flight to Christchurch.
It's Journey to Hell. It's just where we're going.
Oh, for you, Slaphead. Rising stars.
Shut up, you.
Shut up.
His swimming cap on. He's left his swimming cap on.
He's left his swimming cap on.
Both like that. Turn round, Captain. Come on, Captain. Captain, up the ball.
James Roby over here, Leo. He's got
obsessive compulsive disorder.
OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder.
What does that mean?
He has to fold his kit perfectly, iron it, pack it individually. He has to wash at least 3 times a day. He's got baby wipes to clean his hands and face in between times.
He's a germ, innit? Stinks.
What?
Stinks.
All in all, it's been a good trip.
So far.
So far.
I thought you wanted to go home on Monday.
No, that's a lie. He wants to go home, I want to stay.
Lie.
Liar.
Both want to go.
A couple of announcements this afternoon, folks. First of all, to the Great Britain Rugby League team. It's very good to have you guys on board. We wish you all the best here in Christchurch. Good luck with your match. We know you can't win them all, but try your best anyway.
Our starting lineup's pretty strong, but if we get a couple of injuries, then we get severely weakened. But because they've got strength in depth, but I don't know. Hopefully we can turn it around this year and have a bash at it.
Normally we get quite good press. This time, we've obviously been written off by all the media over here, so we've got a point to prove.
Loose ball on it! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there it is. 6 on the floor, John.
Pretty much, I just try and stay as relaxed as possible, really, not think about the game too much. Just go through my role and not get caught up with what's going on in the media, and just do my job, really. And most players here, then once we finished that game last Friday, start thinking about this game and building towards it. And training's gone really well all this week, and looking forward to it on Saturday now.
Fucking came this moment at St Helens because we were physically better than they were, we were technically better than they were, and we concentrated the long periods of the game about just working their middle over and getting them tight first. So forward first is what I'm probably trying to impress upon you. Forward first and you'll absolutely trouble this team.
success for us would be immense down here, immense for the game at home as well. And you know, what people don't see is the amount of sacrifice that both the players and the coaching staff around here have put in over a number of years for this concept of Great Britain and raising the profile of international football. And that element of sacrifice somewhere along now is going to be rewarded. We have to talk about people like Wiki and Asatasi. We know about certainly Ruben Wiki. We haven't got as many players in respect of depth and depth of talent. But I know talent at the highest level. Well, some of the practice this week have been as high a quality as I've ever coached.
Just to think this first 20, if we just match their emotion in this first 20, like I say, complete, I reckon whoever comes off the bench will fucking blow them away. Us starting 6 just need to control them, fucking be more aggressive than them. Then after that 20, when the emotion's gone and that, the bench will come off and destroy them, I reckon.
They're not naturally fit people.
No, they fuck.
They're very big and strong, but if you see, you know, last 10 minutes in each half, that's when you
get it. Yeah. So the start's important for us, isn't it? You know, there's an old expression, you know, I don't think you can win the game in the first 20 minutes, but you can lose it. And that was certainly the case for us last year at Loftus Road. This year, we're determined to start well.
The eve of the first test, and a number of the squad take the opportunity to cram in some last-minute revision. These video sessions are all about analysing the imminent adversary.
Which foot they step off, which hand they carry the ball in, whether there's a strong fend, the type of person they're in contact, whether they drop and look to find, you know, the landing gear or the driving contact, you know, leg pumping in contact. So all these things are important to what we're trying to achieve as a team, and individually they've got to know their opposition numbers. I think it just reassures in his mind the opposition, the opposite number he's playing against, strengths and weaknesses. When it comes into confrontation, the heat of battle, that those memories, those pictures, the analysing, it comes to the fore, and they know the strengths and weaknesses, and they know where to play to and where not to play to. So that's the benefits of it, and then all they're doing is just recapping.
I have the utmost belief in this team. I think of the last 6 years I've been involved, this is the best attitude of the team we've ever had, and the best group of people. And I look at the talent, and I look at the talent of the 18 that are going out there tomorrow, and the 8 that are kicking them at the heels to get into the team. Then I just want us to be able to remember we had those people there give a huge message, playing the now. I'm not bothered about what's gone on previously. I'm bothered about us representing ourselves as well as we should. And that is about performance. That's your first carry of the game, as good as you've always done your first carries. And that's your first tackle of the game. And I'm convinced that our group is going better than the others.
Well, I think it's got that balance of youth and experience that you need. I think it's got no edge to it. There are no player that particularly wants the headlines. There's no player that particularly wants to be the man. I think it has that synergy about it that can make it the team concept that's going to be needed to do well in this competition.
And without further ado, the team for tomorrow against New Zealand, the first test. It's where we. Number 1, Paul Wellens.
For me personally, I just think I've been brought up doing it. You know, I follow the sport as a child, and you know, you watch, you know, you sort of your idols playing, and it's just something, especially being a St Helens born lad. Rugby league, it's a rugby league town, and it's just been something that's been in me from a young age. I've always enjoyed the sport, and I suppose it's just a natural progression to go on and play it as a young lad, and I'm just pretty fortunate that, you know, things have gone so well for me, and I've managed to, you know, play the sport professionally and go on to play for my country.
Number 11, Captain James Peacock.
I've always enjoyed it, really. I think when I first started out in the game, I enjoyed playing it. I was only 4 when I started, and it's something I enjoyed the contact of it all, and I just enjoy the team side of it as well. You know, the selflessness at times, doing stuff for other people, and you know, working hard for other members of the team is a really good feeling.
His first cap, a young man from St Helens, James Robert. The second, young man from Leeds, who plays for the whole club, Gareth Carvel. And the third one, from Wigan, Gareth Hock.
I just think people like Ellis and O'Loughlin and Hock and Newton, who's been around. Newton's been a thorn in the Australian side in some beaten teams for GB, so he's certainly going to be a thorn in this side. They're a bit toey of Terry Newton because he's aggressive. You know, it's something that they don't experience every week. Danny Maguire, if he finds his form, and Sean Long self-admittedly has said, you know, I've never reproduced my club form at international level. I think he might just do that this time. And then you look at Yeaman and Rayner from Hull and Carvel from Hull, new kids on the block if you like, and little Rob Burrows going to get an opportunity, and Richard Horne's going to get an opportunity, and I just think there are some people that they might not too be aware of. Yeah.
I'm going to cover briefly the game plan. Exit sets, 95% completions, and we're rapid with speedos every now and again. Push is crucial. Only in real estate it's crucial. So in attack, 30s and 70s, laying the line first. Everything we do tonight is forward first. Your attitude and your concentration has been first class. Take it into the game. Play in there now and you'll be fine.
There's not much that can be said on a game day. You know, you can sort of like try and inspire a few people, but you know, mainly you've got to focus on yourself because, like I say, you've done all the hard work as a team early on in the week, and you know, on the match days, it's all about, you know, like you say, channeling your focus on the job in hand and making sure you know your role and what you've got to do.
Great Britain's matchday routine involves getting to the ground around 2 hours before kick-off. For most players, it's a time to get the game face on.
The best you can do is probably getting into the dressing rooms on the courts on the way there, and then kind of pick it up all the way until we get to the warm-up, the 10 minutes before warm-up, and that's as focused as I can get, really. That's when I'm really in there, because if you do it too early, you can tire yourself out. I've done it before and got myself too worked up and tired myself out for the game, whereas you can hold that kind of concentration for the full length of the game then.
I'm completely different to a lot of people when it comes to the build-up to the game. I'm one of them people that thinks that I don't feel like I need to waste my time worrying about the game and having a massive build-up to it until it actually, you know, kicks off. I don't like to get involved in all the tension and all the build-up and worry about them little things. You know, I'm a bit long in the tooth now to let that sort of thing bother me. So I tend to sort of like just relax up until the very final moment, really.
I'm pretty confident we're ahead of last year in relation to our practices, because we didn't have a template last year. We've got a couple now. We had a test mid-season when most of this team played. We've had a hit at Newcastle to get them up to speed. We're playing a very desperate team, but I think we're ahead of last year. I genuinely do, and I think that we'll be okay. And I think being okay for us is a win.
You don't get many times to play for Great Britain. You might play 300 games in Super League, so you might only play one, or you might play 25 games for Great Britain, and that makes it extra important. And they just step up in intensity. It's big. It's a big step up. You've just got the best of each competition going against each other, and there's a lot of passion when you play for your country. I think most of the players are, you know, emotional, passionate people, and it balls over in Test match football, and it comes out.
Yeah, let's get nice and tight and we'll go out. Stand up and get in. Come on, together. Together, boys, do it together. We've worked 6-7 years to get to this point now, aren't we? Let's all play together today, alright? Every single one of us stand up and be counted. Don't look at your teammate and expect him to do it. You be the one who does something. You be the one who stands up and be counted tonight. Let's go, boys. Play the team.
We're sharp, we're focused, but again it's a horrible game that you have to belt people and you have to get up and down the ground a lot and you have to be really, really fit physically. I'm sensing that this team is ready. I think we've picked the right team. I think we've got the right balance.
New Zealand has already played twice, losing both their games with Australia.
If you look at the size of our team, it shouldn't be intimidated by physical prowess. We understand that it's there. You get it wrong against the Kiwis and you do generally get to talk about it under your sticks because they're that good and they can play. But I think we can play. I think our focus this year is on us. I think we should be confident of what we can achieve. I think our body language should be upbeat. We're very proud of what we are and what we want to achieve, and we should take that into the game.
Stay at this end of the field. Play on. Tap it, we'll play it there.
The first half is predictably tight, but it's the tourists who score first, although not in the manner that Noble and Sharp had intended.
Jackie, cold roll. Yeah, I got ya.
A lot of the big guys would say that it's harder to probably try and tackle someone who's a little bit more nippy or good on the feet than someone just running straight at them, so I try to use that more to my benefit than anything. It's part of the job I love. I love to try and challenge myself.
You push yourself to the limits, testing yourself, and it's trying to beat the challenges of not failing, and there's times when you feel like you just want to die, and it's trying to push yourself that little bit further that really you get a buzz out of, and it's trying to beat that, which is the hardest thing.
Out, pass it, run. Put on your toe. What? I need to see it down the sideline. Down the fucking sideline. Down the fucking sideline.
For the majority of the half, the Lions have the territorial edge, but they pay a heavy price for one poor decision. New Zealand's Brent Webb will be a thorn in the Lions' side throughout this series.
Every time I'm tired, I just look at them and I think they're even more fucked. Just fucking buzz off looking at them. They're absolutely fucked.
You're going real good, boys. You're going real good. You're right. They're just on the verge of cracking. But it's what we do with the ball that make these people crack. We're not having any problem getting out of our own half.
We can just be a bit smart and turn it over on our terms. We'll fucking turn this through. Just believe that we can do it. Keep believing. Tick the clock off.
Play 50s, but play in the middle as well in yardage. So you've got any deception, they're not tying in on the other side of the ruck. So any jab or a step play is killing them. But we've got to get that next pass. Now the big thing for us is the decision when we make that in yardage. We've still got to get out of our half with a kick. That's the decisions we make.
Believe we can do this, guys.
It's all about them, great. 40 minutes of hard work, come from behind, fuck these over. There's 24 points in us this half, easy. Easy 4 tries. Let's go, boys.
After 20 minutes, if you're fucking that close with them, we'll have it. If you're fucking that close away, let's have it then.
Let's do it, Let's rip him out, middle.
They're not ready for us, though. They're not ready for us.
Great Britain needs a good start to the second half, and initially it seems they have it. Disappointingly, television replays prove otherwise.
Drop that, dropped it, drop the fucking ball.
And instead of being ahead, Noble's side fall further behind.
The Kiwi game, I think we had the dominance if we choose to have taken it. You know, balls thrown in touch, drop ball here, second set, drop ball here, third play. Just giving the ball to them and not. I think the biggest difference is taking your chances. And because they're sparse in obviously Test football, you're not going to get too many chances. It's not like you can blow 10 chances and still have 10 tries. You might get 2 chances, 2 breaks in a game, 3 breaks. But if you see Aussies, it's ding, 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 and it's a try. Whereas you see us and we'll make a break and then the next play we'll drop it. Or make a break and we won't finish the set. And it's that clinicalness, that clinicalness that we're lacking. And we seem to lack at international football.
There is no doubt whatsoever we're going to get this one. This mob's fucked. Have a look at the body language. They're fucked. We've got to press and put pressure on them. Keep building pressure, be patient.
But patience, like time, is running out. No one more frustrated than Adrian Morley.
Geno, the message has got to be keep building pressure. These will crack. We're creating enough opportunities.
It is New Zealand, however, who create and take the next opportunity, although again Great Britain has a hand in its own demise. In the closing minutes, Great Britain finally accept 2 chances of their own. It's not enough, and for the second year on the trot, they lose their opening Tri-Nations fixture to New Zealand.
Guys, we've got 3 games. All we need is 4 points from that. You're capable of beating this team next week. But it's important that we stay positive. Lift your shoulders, walk out here. We did some really good things tonight. We won the arm wrestle, with conversions if anything. Attack and defence, our last players building pressure at their end of the field. And we can take plenty out of that. And we've got some improvements in us. Well done. Well done. You stuck in there till the end. We don't kick stones around here, we get on with it. We win our next game.
Their next game is against unbeaten Australia in Sydney in 7 days' time.
Make sure we get in. Just be careful, make sure you get in. Ready? Let's go! That's it! Make it splash! That's it, let's get in, Real well, come on, going. Come on, quick, Come on, Gareth, quick, And time, Craig. Make sure you get out. Start walking again.
I think, you know, looking back certainly to last year and how we performed last year in the first game and the performance this time around, I think there's been massive improvements. I think the performance of the team I thought was very encouraging, and you know we had some tough calls go against us and some situations that were out of our control which I think ultimately affected the outcome of the game, but we were very encouraged with how we played. Obviously we were really disappointed that we didn't pick up the win, but there was some stuff in there that we were really pleased with.
Individually, physically, you're better than the team you played yesterday. your footwork, your skill level in relation to carrying the ball is better than the opposition. That's our first hit out. I'm really confident in relation to next week we get extremely goal ball when we fix those things up.
$600 if Robes could catch a seagull. He's making the attack. Here it comes, here it comes. Ah! They've all gone.
He had a look to see if it's
Just coming for have a chat with a local fisherman.
Just have a chat with James Graham.
James Graham.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
Still not. Not got to be fish today. What's this you've got here, mate? What's that? This is skin of barbecue chicken.
Skin of what?
Good, very good.
Skin off the barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken.
Very good.
Are you long his long lost dad? You look like his dad. Look at that. Here, look. Hello.
36 hours after the defeat in Christchurch, the players, tired and sore, are back on the training field.
200 years of research and all they could find is that with corks on and fucking flies.
Straight through.
Stiff.
Yeah.
Just asking a few lads a bit stiff, get them out of it. Might have to extend this a little bit, huh? Get it flushing again.
Straight through. Straight through.
When I was younger, I enjoyed the training a lot more. Now that I'm getting a bit older and everything seems to be a little bit harder, you know, it's the games that you seem to look forward to, because after you've played the game, the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday, you know, you tend to be a bit sore and a bit broken.
If somebody comes into real estate and even you're a front rower, you've got to be prepared to play. In fact, that's all you have to do. And you're there again to go again. You've got too many people pushing, and then doing this. Oh, fucking hell, they've gone again. All you have to do is get in there, and then it's... Yeah, I'm ready. Fucking give me the ball. That's as much as long as a ruck takes, isn't it? Haven't seen you carry the ball yet, big man on the fringe.
Yep.
Push!
Good line.
Now get him speed away. Threat both sides of the ruck, okay? Once you've had a play, you're bigger blokes, it's as easy for you to stand in the line and be a threat even though you're fucking sinking the big ones up your ass as it is up at the back doing them ones. Just lie. Hit your body language. Yeah, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Loiter with intent.
You still got to go with it.
Yeah, it was good. Come out, didn't they? They came out themselves, didn't they?
Bit of help from their coach.
Oh, without doubt. Enthusiasm.
And I said I meant that you look good on the dance floor.
Head coach Noble's next task is to front up the waiting media. Some of it hostile. It's a challenge he embraces.
I do like it, yeah. I think you've got to be on your mettle, you've got to be on the ball, you've got to be thinking, what if he asked me this? And when you get the one that he hasn't asked you, you've got to be a diplomat, you've got to be a politician, you've got to say, I'm going to have to bat this one square until I can find a reasonable answer. Yeah, I do like it, yeah.
Brian, how do you answer Phil Gould reckons you guys haven't got what it takes, and I say that respectfully?
I wouldn't be the first time he said that, would it, Phil Gould? And don't get distracted by what other people say, it's about what we say and what we do.
Please don't lose the control here, please don't tell him what you really think of him. That's there at the back of your mind thinking, because if you do, this could be really embarrassing. So you say, no, you might have a point there.
You think there is two rules?
Well, I'm not so sure. You tell me, you were at adjudication, you're obviously intimating there is with the NRL. I have no issue with either.
I don't know that there's too many in the Great Britain side would be a force in the NRL.
Part and parcel of it is to needle you, so that you get antagonised and you probably don't think the way you should.
I don't mean to be demeaning or being a smart aleck or otherwise. I'm just, what I've seen of of the tour over here so far, there's a few blokes that really struggle to make it in the NRL.
The only way you can answer people in relation to that is to perform.
just be competitive and go right for the full 80 minutes and be as tough and as hard as the Australians have been over the years.
It's nice to be underestimated, it's nice to sneak up on people, it's nice to be browbeaten and things like that, and then come up with a performance, because the reality is you can't get any kind of bragging rights unless you do that. Good performances will help, you know, but the reality is we need to win.
Nobody can actually say this is anybody's game. On paper, it's probably all Australia. And please, that is not being arrogant or otherwise, it's just being real.
They don't rate you, do they? No, they don't.
And the next Pommy in the media spotlight is St Helens standoff Leon Price after a throwaway quip in his online diary.
I found it pretty funny actually. I'd rather be in Blackpool than in Bondi. It's sense of humour, it's Leon's sense of humour, it's quite funny really. Nah, they take it quite offensive I think, but I suppose it's about where you're at, isn't it?
I spoke to Leon a bit. Only thing I spoke to Leon just saying ignore it. You know, I don't think you've done much wrong. You've said it tongue in cheek, and it's just been stomped on. You know, jumped all over, and I thought it was. It certainly filled a few headlines, but I don't think it's the right way to go about advertising the game. I think there's other ways and means to promote a game than doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I prefer to be at home. Yeah, any day back in Bradford or. You know, I'd go to Blackpool Beach instead of Bondi. I think I said it somewhere. But yeah, I think I'm an home boy, and I'd like to be back home.
You got to take it with a pinch of salt, really. I mean, it's great the fact that no matter what the story is, at least rugby league's making the headlines. I mean, I don't think it was a bad comment what Leon said. You know, it's just a bit of fun, and they give us a bit back. So I don't take it too seriously. I'm certainly not offended by it.
The weather is certainly more Blackpool than Bondi on the eve of Great Britain's second test, something not missed on Coach Noble.
How did some Barmy Army members have come in?
Oh, definitely. You know, I've certainly bumped into a few that arrived recently, and you know, I think there'll be a few neutrals on our side as well.
What do you think of?
I think we're good blokes, and irrespective of the fact that we're missing Blackpool, I think they'll have a dig for us.
What did Leon say about the weather?
Leon said it's great.
You see Brian surrounded by 30 members of the media, and the microphone's shoved in his face and the cameras all around, and you know, when you're an assistant you don't quite get that, and you know, you can have that one. I'm not too worried about I'm not too bothered about having to face the sharks of the Australian media.
Team changes, have you got any?
Yeah, we've got a couple. Leon Price will start at 5'8", then you've got it over here, stand up in Blackpool.
Fortunately Brian's brilliant with the media, and he deals with all those things.
It's great. Absolutely legendary.
There's a fluency there, Brian. The fluency. Fucking do.
Look quick.
Very quick. Nice line, Cook. You've got a hold on him. His line's that aggressive.
He's great, isn't he? Tough kid, I like him.
Yeah.
I played here about 5 years ago with the academy, so you know, it's just good to come back and play again and hopefully win this time. Can't wait, you know, just counting the days on and that, and really looking forward to making my debut.
We do look sharp, right.
Might be in a time walk for 2 weeks.
Do you know what else we've got? A lot of fucking push.
Push is the key, coach. Push is the key. Creating one-on-ones is the key.
Yeah.
Finals here as well, not just us, but we're in the finals, our own game. It's been pretty tough with the press. A lot of the boys are not used to the press. That's the first thing. They've been quite amazed how much it's generated and how much the Aussies like bagging us. But apart from that, I mean, I've just been doing what I can, and yeah, hopefully I'll have a bit more knowledge to give them between now and tomorrow.
Can't wait, mate, to get out there. Can't wait for it. Out there.
not the ticket from the boys who played this before. Just go on with the feeling, isn't it, when it's absolutely hammering them.
I think it's human nature. You take some things on board, don't you? I think that's the way you are as humans, but it does fire you up slightly. But again, the main thing is you want to do it for each other, and you know that you're out here representing the whole of British Rugby League. I think that's a big thing as well.
Give it to fucking Fielding, give it to JP, give it to Mod, we'll just fucking pour through, boys. Pour through. We'll know what it is.
Great Britain's tournament chances were improved when New Zealand were punished for fielding the ineligible Nathan Fien in the Christchurch Test. The Kiwis docked 2 points after it emerged that Australian Fien did not have a New Zealand grandparent, as he claimed.
The game on tomorrow is going to be special. I think it's going to be a good test match because I can feel it in you. You've had a gut full of some of the things that have been said, but in relation to that, I just want to remind us it's about performance. We've got to go out there and perform as well and do some of the things in attack in their half of the field that we didn't quite do last week. And when they get the ball, it's about belting the shit out of them as well. So, but we'll cover that more in depth tomorrow. The exciting thing is now we get to name another team who's going to represent us all out there on the field and everything that we stand for as individuals. So without further ado, the test match at Aussie Stadium tomorrow, the full battle with Paul Wellens. On the right wing, Brian Carney. Right centre, Keith Senior.
Where's it come from? I think I don't know really. It's just sort of like appeared. I think Moz started it, and then Leon sort of like got onto it, and it just sort of like escalated from there. And when we, like you say, when we do as team, as shirt presentations, once one starts and everybody just sort of like kicks off. You know, now the dog's getting on scene and he's getting involved. So it's just one of them things that's escalated from a little thing. I honestly don't know where it's come from, but it seems to have taken off.
We've got a couple of people, if you like, come up, Skipper, as well, please. This gives me extra pleasure for these kind of occasions as well, because as well as your shirt that you get to take or swap or do what you want to do in your lives, you get to be a capped player as well when you make your debut and you get your opportunity. And we've got 2 more people making their first opportunities in relation to the test match tomorrow. And it's a pretty big stage, and I know they're both very, very excited. So without further ado, on debut and receiving his first cap is Kurt Yeaman. Well done. And John Wilkin comes from the bench.
I think initially it's just I was anxious and nervous, and I probably questioned yourself as a player, and sort of you're looking at the best players in the world, especially for the Australian team, and at the Sydney football stadium, it doesn't come much bigger than that, and I think it's only natural to maybe just take a step back, and I know personally I question myself and think am I up to this level, but then you've just got to draw confidence in your teammates, and a lot of them will spur you on.
I'm excited, very excited. I always get nervous. That's a good sign for me. That's another. If I don't get the butterflies, I get worried. It means that I'm caring for the people I'm working with, and I'm excited at the prospects of what we can do. I'm not daunted by the challenge. I'm not fearful. I really want to do well in this competition, and I want the players first and foremost to do well.
There's been a lot of negative things saying about myself, also about the team. So it gives you, if you needed any motivation, it's there for you. But if you're not motivated enough, I suppose, on the merits of the game you're playing in. You're playing for your country, you're playing the Australians, playing in a hostile crowd. If you can't get up for that, then maybe you need to hang your boots up.
Pumped up, can't wait, really excited I am. I've seen the Aussies, I've seen how good they are, and you know, certainly offensively they've been fantastic in the last 2 games, and you know, it's going to be a massive challenge for us, but one that we're looking forward to. And if you want to be any good in this game, you've got to pit yourself against the very best, and you know, they probably are at the moment. They're right on the game, and we need to be up there and you know, working hard for each other, and I'm pretty sure we'll perform.
Kitman for the Tories Leeds, Roy Adams.
You know, it's good to be involved at club level, but you know, this is a different plane really. You know, so it gives me a lot of pride, a lot of prestige for doing it, and you know, even if I never do it again, at least I can say I've been there and done it.
It's time for action. There's been lots and lots of words that we've all enjoyed this week, and you know, hopefully that will fuel our fire. But it's important you recognise that I think deep down they don't rate us. Well, that's fantastic, because what they're doing is underestimating us. And I've probably never been more confident in this group of people. So let's go out there, let's play some rugby league, and let's go get them.
Australian head coach is Ricky Stewart, who took over from Wayne Bennett after his side lost the 2005 Tri-Nations final to New Zealand.
He's again not playing boys, isn't it? It's a big fucking game. We get the best of our fucking players this. On the big stage, yeah.
Let's go boys, just time for action now. Words has been said enough. Action today. Let's go. Go fellas.
Vulnerable, lad. We're fucking vulnerable. Just gotta stick at it, Brian.
Just 3 minutes into the game, and the hostility which has bubbled all week boils over.
When it all kicked off there, I just thought, right, I'm going for you here, you know, I've had enough.
The women and children in front of our box screaming like the Colosseum, putting the thumbs down, kill the amount of excitement that it generated.
I don't remember that much about it, but after seeing it, 3rd minute, you know, you've got to say, well, he's caught me. Okay, I didn't expect it. Yes, I wasn't going to hit him either, but we're 2 aggressive guys and lads and men, and sometimes it happens, but I wasn't prepared for it, but it didn't miss, and you catch someone sweet, that's going to happen.
Right, let's go then, you want it like this, we're happy with that, you know, we're used to it being balls over in Super League quite often really, it's you know, it's probably a lack of discipline more in Super League than there is in the NRL, so it just suited us down to the ground. We just thought, well, let's go as a team, we've not to lose here, they've shown the cards, let's go.
You get up and you play your game, and I got on with it, and I tried to play my best rugby for Great Britain.
And so Fielding carried on for Great Britain, and Mason carried on for the hosts. Physio Rob Harris is kept busy.
People have no idea how strong these guys are, and mate, if any normal person tried to jump in and play, they would die, and that's factual.
As in Christchurch, the first half in Sydney was brutal but tight.
Come on, push, flatten up and push.
Again, Great Britain were creating opportunities. And again, they were to give their opponents the opening score. not only 6 points down, but now the tourists lose winger Brian Carney with a hamstring problem. But on this day, the Lions were ready for anything. Their response was immediate and emphatic.
For me, it's just a case of repetition and routine. It's something that I've done for quite a few years now, and I think you just get a sense about a game where you sort of feel that something's going to happen. I can't quite put my finger on how that is, but you just get that feeling, you know, every now and again where, you know, something's going to come in and you just follow the play, and lo and behold, the ball will pop into your hands and you're under the sticks.
You tend to feel when something's right, and you know, sometimes it takes a bit of adversity to sort of like switch you onto the game.
Australia came out, and you saw the thing with Willie Mason and Stu probably came out to try and physically dominate us, and I think to a man we stood firm and fought fire with fire.
You can sort of like see it in each other's eyes that they want to play the game, and you know what we did were more than likely did us a favour that night, because it sort of like sparked us up a little bit more.
And the results of Mason's endeavours were still being felt by Great Britain, and in particular Stuart Fielding.
We got some messages from the players saying that Stuart didn't seem to be quite aware of where he was and what he was doing in terms of the plays of the game and things like that. So, you know, at half-time he was my first priority.
Taking quite a bad blow, Stuart. Yeah, you can't remember what happened. He took a blow early on in the first half. Some foul play.
I was talking to him, asking him to recall the episode. He could not recall the episode, what had happened to him.
Was it foul or not?
Yeah, it was foul play. Some fisticuffs. I hope you got.
So what down?
I think you went down, yes.
He could not recall where he was playing, looking down at his shirt. He'd be playing New Zealand, he'd be playing Australia. He kept looking down, trying to give himself a clue.
He'd be playing. What's happening now at this point?
Sure. His coordination was poor. The tests I do get the guy to put his feet together and see what happens with his eyes are shut, and Stuart just couldn't manage that test, so I had to make the call. At that point it was obvious to me that he could not return to the field of play. It wasn't medically safe for him to do so.
Okay, Rob, can you speak? Okay, he's not fit to return to the field of play at this point in time. Yeah?
Stand back from side to side.
Okay, so unfortunately, you know, that may change over the time of the second half, but unfortunately currently he's not fit to return to the field of play.
Thank you.
Run. 2 minutes into the second half, and for the first time Great Britain went ahead. The scorer, Captain Peacock.
Ones I normally score actually are those ones I don't normally score from more than 10 metres out. I didn't really celebrate because I thought it's only 6 points in front and there's 40 minutes to go. If I'd have scored one with a minute left and put us 12 points in front, I'd have celebrated like you won't believe, but there's not much point celebrating then. You look like a bit of a fool if you go on and lose.
Australia's captain Darren Lockyer is rated as the best player in the world, and he brings his side level.
You need to get that message to our French people. They don't need to jump in, they've got to fucking work out.
You've got to get a message to your next people. You're three in, 2 in and 1 in. You can't afford to jump in on them. You fucking stay offset.
Dr. Chris Brooks re-examines Stuart Fielding.
The first step is to be sure that clinically when I examine him, he goes through a whole series of tests with respect to his neurological function, the cranial nerves in his brain and his coordination, his arms, legs, power and tone coordination, reflexes. I was happy with him medically by the end of the game. By that I meant that his memory's coming back, he'd not been sick, he had a bit of a headache but didn't meet the need for an immediate scan of his brain or anything like that.
While Fielding was being checked by the doctor, Lee Gilmore was putting Great Britain back in front.
Tel Gazok is playing at the middle. Field position is still the...
Tel Gazok is playing as a front rower in the middle. Field position still paramount for us.
Leading by 6 points and with only minutes remaining, Great Britain break to claim the decisive score.
Stay here. Run out. Just run out. Yay! Very good. Beauty! Finish the game, speed up for a touchline.
It was unbelievable. I was about 50 metres back, I was knackered, but it was just a great sense of relief knowing that there was no chance of them coming back, and just a great feeling of satisfaction that, you know, that we'd put one over them, that we'd won, that we'd, you know, prove some people wrong and prove to ourselves that we could have done it, and just worked hard as a team. It's just a really satisfying feeling.
It's up there with the best, you know, as an international game. Like I said before, you know, I've played international for 10 years now, and you know, there's not much to write home about. You know, there's been the odd wins against Australia, and the odd, you know, we've had that Test series against New Zealand, you know, in theory, which was drawn, but we claimed it as a win. And you know, apart from that, you know, there's not been anything, you know, so to get a win against Australia on their home soil, like you say, after how we'd been written off and how we'd been disrespected and how the week had gone, you know, it was sort of like a, you know, we're showing you a thing or two here, and you know, on home soil, you know, in Sydney as well, it were, you know, a superb achievement, and you know, one that's to be remembered.
Australia twice, once in 1994 when Wigan beat Brisbane in the ANZ Stadium in front of a 50-odd thousand crowd, and today Great Britain on my second visit have beaten the Aussies in the Aussie Stadium with only 25,000. From 12,000 miles, I want them to win every time. We know we're not going to win them all, but at least if we can give the Aussies and the New Zealanders a contest, then I'll be very pleased.
Hold on, Gilly. Put your ass there, we'll try. Well done,
The one thing and only thing you can do after a week like that, you did your talking on the field. You only beat them, you fucking belted them and you were better than them. And we've got some improvement here. Still got a game to win, so that's why have a drink tonight, look after yourself, get ready to ramp up in fucking New Zealand. But absolutely outstanding.
I didn't come to Australia for this. I come to Australia for
Get the front line!
Get the ice suit! He loves it. Didn't even flinch.
That's
If confirmation was needed as to the brutal intensity of the Sydney Test match, it came on Monday morning as the walking wounded stained the training ground.
People have no idea what these guys put themselves through for one test match, let alone sort of 4 or 5 on the bounce. You know, it takes guys days to get over this. And after that Sydney test, you know, I'm talking to Jamie Peacock, and he said, man, a test match is so different to even a grand final. They get up that high to play one of these games that, you know, they put their bodies through perhaps more than they would normally, and you know, it takes 2 or 3 days to recover from that, and you know, then to back up week after week after week, you know, it's incredibly tough.
The day after the game, you know, you take anti-inflammatories on the day of the game, which sort of like eases the pain and gets you through the game, and then the days after, you know, the painkillers have gone, and you try walking downstairs and you can't. You have to take a step at a time, because you have to walk on your tiptoes, and you know, you sort of like wince into yourself because of the pain. But you know, at the end of the day, you wouldn't change it for the world. You know, this is what we do, and you know, even though it's, like I say, it kills you the day after, you know, the positives that you get from the game, you know, just out of this world.
Stuart Fielding was back in training and back in the media spotlight after Willie Mason was charged for his part in the Sydney fireworks.
Yeah, Stuart reacted obviously to what happened on Saturday night.
The only way you can, you dust yourself down and you get off the floor. When you're a substantial person as we've got within our group, and within the Australians and the Kiwis, if you get put on your backside, you've got to get up again, haven't you?
You could go out there and you could down 10 men and dance around like Muhammad Ali, and it's not going to change what happened, is it?
And my views are that I personally didn't think that there was, you know, I thought it was a cheap shot, really.
There's no premeditation.
No. Well, there might have been on his part, but
It's a pun, but you've got to take it on the chin, and I did, and I think, you know, to the people at Mad that I've spoke to, not every other man and his dog that seems to jump on the bandwagon out here, because I think he's pretty full of the slagging me off bandwagon. I don't think they can get any more people on it. So the people that matter to me that I've spoke to, people that are experienced in things like that, you know, those are the people that count, and after that it's about how you come back from it, isn't it?
I know Stu will bounce back. You know, it's going to be tricky playing against him this year for sure. You know, his pride will have been stung, and I think he'll get over that. And I think the next time they play, you know, when the things have gone past him, you know, look out, I reckon.
Sydney villain Mason is banned for 1 match.
Willie's just got a statement to read, and once he's read that, that's it, no questions. So listen.
Obviously I'm really disappointed with the result. Honestly thought I was acting in self-defence. In the light of previous incidents which have gone unpunished, I'm very surprised by tonight's result. Considering all my options about the appeal, if I'm able to, I'll now devote myself to getting fit, play as well as I can for the final. I wish my teammates, you know, best of luck in the next coming game, and I feel like I've let them down, but can't wait for the final.
Thanks very much, guys.
It's back. See how they are. See how they are.
It's got a 10 thing. They're just
still flat, aren't they?
They're not cooking this afternoon.
No way. No way.
They haven't switched over yet.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
gone back into work mode.
Well, yeah, instead of having started looking forward to New Zealand, have we?
No.
Sort of like reading about Willie Mason and all the other shit, and they're all just sort of still back in the sort of recovery type thing, pushing forward towards
Thursday's important for us.
massively
Important practice.
to turn things around. Have you thought, would it kill him to do a sesh tomorrow?
I said that about
like a short
maybe doing a
session,
weights session.
Just something to kind of fire them up about early doors. Or even just doing a sharp thing on the oval or something like that.
We've been very good with them, ice bathing and swimming and massage has been a constant for every game we've played so far, and the recovery's generally been about 1 to 2 days, but you know, today they're still very sore and still a little bit fatigued, I think, which is an indicator how tough the Australian game was. You know, there was plenty of biff bang in there, and it was certainly quick. The ball was in play for large parts of the game, probably more than what there are in Super League, but emotionally as well. You know, the emotional high of winning in Sydney for the first time in 18 years is a big one, but you get a dump after that, you get an emotional dump, and you know, the boys have got to, I think, emotionally freshen up a little bit now. If you have a day off, it puts a line under what's gone off, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, last week's game.
Might kill them,
Yeah.
It's a balance, isn't it, between...
There's a fine line between doing enough and doing too little and too much. I'm going to focus this week very much on locking on ball and staying on it. Believe that they're chasing the points differences against them, so I think that they're going to try and keep the ball alive. Whether they come into the game thinking that, or during the game they're behind on the points board, then they're going to start it and roll and try and offload. So we're going to practice some 3v1. I'm mindful of the fact that you're not fucking energised as much as what we'd like just at this stage, so we're going to be careful on contact, but the wrestle and the take to the ground is just about the same anyway. We're still not quite there physically. I still think that we need to get some energy back into them, which the next 2 days will be perfect for that. By Thursday we expect them to be flying.
Because they do fly, they really do fly.
Don't get back on side, Keith.
What?
Don't go back on side, just stay up a couple of metres like you normally do at Headingley. Yeah, get away with it at Leeds. Yeah. Get away with it, Headingley.
I'll get away with it because I'm into the refs. Pass it, boss.
No. Hey. Leave it.
We're even saying it on Saturday with Ashley. Come on, get back these 10. I'm on way every time.
You know, I'm certainly not best mates with the players and go drinking with them. I'm far from that. But I need to be approachable. I need to be someone that the players trust. And by the same token, you know, Brian has to be able to trust me as well in some of the information that I feed back to him as well. So it's a little bit different as in regards to the assistant role and the head coach role, but Brian has a good relationship with the players as I do. Yeah. You're stuck with the ball a lot, aren't you?
But if they're flying in there.
So what do you do? We've got you twice, what do you think you'd do now? How are you going to adjust in the game?
I'll just give it earlier.
A bit earlier. And straighten your lines up by a bit more space for him. Because you're passing off, you're drifting on an outline. And the defence is mapping to you. So we'd go straight at them. Have a look back under first. Have a look back under first, and then an early sinker. He's going to hit you on an early sinker, Leon. He's going to hit you on an earlier.
Yeah, go.
Skills improved from when we started this first thing.
With the win bonus from Sydney safely banked, the Leeds boys chase big bucks at Randwick on Melbourne Cup Day.
Pop rock.
my squad number for next year, number 12. And I was taking your tips. He's got a very good review here. I've looked for certain words, and it's got one in it there, so I went for that one.
Back in the 8's favourite. Yeah, Delta Blues, because I made it on radio loads of times.
Activation, bit of an outsider. Just fancied it might do all right.
Second as well. Keith, me you first.
Show me the money.
And it wasn't just Keith Senior with a reason to smile.
Number, I think it's NFL number 5. Number 5.
I managed to get a tip off someone and get the winner. So I'm up a bit, to say the least.
It's not very big, no.
Quite difficult to see how we're going to fit in.
Looking at Keith and then looking at the helicopter, it's a bit, it's not quite in proportion.
He's just been planning my funeral about 5 minutes ago, so I'm not very confident at the moment.
Today's flight, we're going to take off from Sydney Airport and head out towards Maroubra, which is the first of the major eastern suburb beaches. As we come around now to the west, Middle Harbour, Spit Bridge, and we'll now be tracking down towards the city. Looking to the south, you can see Aussie Stadium and the SCG, the Sydney Cricket Ground. Okay, James, John and Paul, thank you very much for flying with Blue Sky Helicopters, and we hope to see you again.
Unreal. I would have looked through that before and phoned the guys. So you bought the hotel now.
The city of Wellington plays host to the Lions for their 3rd game. Victory would guarantee the tourists a place in the final against Australia. Another city, another press conference for Noble and Peacock.
Here the weather playing in Wellington at the stadium.
And the topic once again was Stuart Fielden, who had recently suffered a family bereavement.
And how's he holding up over his, I mean, it's been reported as family tragedy, how's he holding up emotionally over that?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Before he came away, we discussed that with Stuart, and it was one of the things that he wanted to do. I think his ego's taken a bit of a punching in respect of last week, but in relation to his practice this week and what he wants to do on this tour, he recognises he's not played at his best, and it would be easy to blame many other reasons than poor form, but he's not that kind of person. He wants to get out on the field and show what he is.
A few of us who are a bit closer to him just said, you know, if you want to chat about hope, you know, we're always here, because he's pretty far away from home, so if you want to open up about hope, probably won't ever do, because Stu's not that kind of way, but it's nice for him to know that there's someone there for him.
It's been very, very difficult. It has been in the press, but not through me. Yeah, it's been very difficult.
About execution and opportunities. I'm confident we'll make ourselves some chances on Saturday. In games like this, when they're talking about being desperate and must win, it's not, it's must perform, guys. It's doing the things you did last week better than we did in this week. And part of that doing it better is taking our opportunities. When you see the line and you sniff the line, back yourself.
I just think it's important to build the game early on, because they've just mentioned their coach setting them a points target to get to, so if we can frustrate them early on the first 20 minutes, it's just 0-0, they're just going to come up with loads of errors, pushing the past and that, aren't they? So if we just build the game again like we did against Australia, let's do that.
I think he's made a mistake, but the only way we can prove him wrong, he said we need to win by 14 points, so we need a 14-point win here. Well, first and foremost, he ain't fucking beating us. And secondly, once they start panicking, they'll start offloading the ball everywhere. So if we're hungrier than they are, our enthusiasm, and what comes to us then, if we're up in the line, is we'll get all the loose balls. Plus we'll fall them down, and they'll get more, and they'll get more, and they'll get more frustrating. We have to get more and more and more disciplined to doing what we're doing. And that's getting the ball down to the right end of the field. And they'll make opportunities for us. So you're right, the start for us is extremely important.
After the warm spring temperatures of Manly, Wellington was a rude and very cold shock.
Another way. Give me another way. We're on 0. Nice.
The travel day and chilly conditions had not helped Brian Carney's hamstring.
Attitude's been good, right?
Playing, remember?
Yep. Yep.
No one's attitude was better than that of Leeds Rhinos' Rob Burrows, who once again was left on the periphery of the squad.
Well, it's hard really. All you can do is train your best, and like when you aren't picked, not show that you've got monk on or anything like that. Like in training Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, you're not so much part of the team that's training, but you've got to still show some energy and look like you're there and wanting to play.
To stay upbeat when they really want to play. They came here to play. To stay upbeat and to put everything into practice and to be the kind of people they are does deserve special mention, yeah.
Oh, I'm frustrated. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frustrated, because I certainly came here wanting to play in every game like everybody did.
The sad thing about a 4-game, 4-test match must-win scenario is that you don't get a chance to give them the opportunity to play sometimes.
In my eyes, he's got the worst job in the world on this tour. He's come in and he's not involved in the team prep, and he's not involved, on the match days. It's sort of like it's hard because personally you don't feel as though you're involved in the squad.
To a certain extent, you think that possibly you're not going to play again, and from me last year, it was I just felt a bit embarrassed that I hadn't played, and I trained with the squad, and I just wanted that recognition that if I was picked in the squad, I was good enough to play.
You want to play and want to be part of it, but you could be in worse places than this, couldn't you? So I don't feel there's any reason to be down or glum or anything.
Positive here, let's go. 30 seconds left. Hands.
The camp was upbeat and confident, but wing Brian Carney was about to deliver bad news to head coach Noble.
Brian's gone out and tried to train in this blizzard after the journey, and what was a good hamstring the day before has ended up being quite tight. And I'll wake up on a Friday morning, quite scared sometimes. I think, God, I've got to go and I've got to make a call on this. And as it happened, I was sort of lying in bed awake, sort of thinking, man, I'm not happy with this.
Can't go an interception. You've got 60 metres to win the game. You can make it.
Okay.
I get to a training session, it's a different time.
So far.
All right.
Okay. Bruno will have to run Leon on the wing and Danny at 6.
Yeah. You got this mark to play rebound.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
You need bibs for these defenders.
It's fucking late decision you've made there on me.
It's very, very late.
That's fucking right. I know you tipped me up for it all.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
No, I don't need to mark play rebound. No.
I'd be happy to work on stuff right up until the morning of the game, but you've got to let the coaches know what's going on, because you can't make a call after practice on Friday and say, hey, look, Brian's not fit, and they've got to change their halves combination because of that. It's incredibly tough for them if I leave it too late.
Okay. We've got probably an unforeseen, well, not completely unforeseen change at the start of the session, but it doesn't really affect us in the slightest. What we're going to do is bring Danny Maguire into 6 and start Leon on the right wing for now, in that starting lineup with the same bench at the moment. We'll change that around and speak to a few people in relation to where we're at. So, captain, it's your section. Exit and good ball.
Let's go then, eh? Chalk it up. Tell us what you want.
Yeah, last week I were, early part of the week building up for probably one of the biggest games of my life, and then, picking up a niggly injury in the, the middle of the week, it just brings you back down to earth. And, I've obviously disappointed to miss out on that game, but, there's been a couple of niggly injuries, and, I've got another opportunity now this week, and, it's just up to me to perform well and, take that, and, I'm going to be trying to do that on Saturday night.
Danny Maguire.
Danny's dangerous. He's dangerous in Broughton Field, isn't he?
This field will suit him.
Yeah, well, this is quick. Good push, Longy.
We're also very fortunate this evening that we have 3 legends of our game present, 3 British Lions who have stood the test of time, both as people and as players, and their stories are there for all to read about and see about right throughout the history of our proud game in Great Britain. And I'd like to ask Billy Boston, Alec Murphy and Neil Fox to come and share this moment with us and shake the players' hands as they come out. We're all British Lions, some for the first time, some have flown the flag for lots of years and are extremely well decorated. So could I ask those 3 gentlemen to come up, please?
This will be, I think, our toughest game. I think they've been a little bit unlucky. You know, I think they should have beat Australia twice. They beat Great Britain once. But I think now we've won a game against Australia, the lads have got confidence. They're back in full flow. This will be a spectacle tomorrow. Anybody who's not going to this game, get down there.
Well, I hope we do the business. Like if they play half as good as what they played against Australia, I think they'll do it.
I'll be just saying to him, think about the things you've done, think about the things you've learned in training, don't make too many mistakes and win the match.
The 16, John Wilkin.
I mean, it's hard to explain. I've never really played a lot of other team sports, you know, where you're in the changing rooms with the lads. But this, you know, in rugby league, it's a big thing to have, you know, a good relationship with your teammates, and there's, I think, probably because we're all from similar backgrounds in terms of our upbringing and you know, our interests, that brings us so close. You know, we're from a small communities in the north of England, majority of us, and I think that sort of unites us in a pretty special way, really.
You know, there's nothing better than interacting with your teammates, and I think if you speak to any players who move on from the game, that's the big thing that they miss, and it's probably the unique thing that you get from being a sportsman than any other job. You know, you're interacting with your friends every day, and so there's no better way to you know make a living.
I don't know if you can get that on camera. Scum, dead skin cells. But fortunately his hair stayed on with his hat this time, it usually comes on.
Some people don't pay £40 a haircut like
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Get in too much power.
The matchday teamwork is something of a Great Britain tradition. It's not to everybody's taste.
I'm more of a fan of the in-bed /TV /drinking water method.
I hate it. No, it's well, I suppose it gets rid of a bit of loose legs and you know gets the blood flowing, but you know it's not my type of thing. It's not the thing that I do back home. So, but you know we've been ordered to do it, so we just get it done, don't we?
I think it's more of a head count than anything else.
We'll get this mob to do 2 things. The tempo that we play, the way that we keep the ball in the game. Just let me remind you, exit sets, we're playing at the channel with lots of push. That's one of our improvements. One of our 9s gets out of there and somebody goes underneath and it's somebody outside. Then footwork on the bigger blokes with the push, we'll get one-on-one opportunities, then we'll all jump again. In attack, it's the same. When our little blokes are going at the line near the fringes, he needs something on his inside and something on his outside. So that's push as well. That's taking our opportunities. I'm playing short balls. The good balls for us tonight will probably travel about that far. With inside shoulders and playing tough on them. And staying at their end of the field. One of the things that we really improved on was the 3 P's, patience, process. Possession. Staying at their end of the field is crucial for us. As the game goes on and we've kept the ball in play, we'll get them. We'll get them out of dummy half and we'll get them on the fringe with speed. The way we hand over the ball is important. So composure, that process part of it, that composure, roll the ball through. We don't need to get them on every set and let them off the hook. Probably one of our big improvements from the last time we played this team is how we hand over the ball. I.e., it's going to be swirly. The wind is a swirler, so even if you jam it right up and it's going all over the place, if our line's good and it's a standing start, we start the sets, plays 1, 2 and 3 the way we want to. We promised ourselves we'd back an effort up. That's about us raising the bar, backing the effort up. That's us. Tonight's about us. I don't care about the emotion for them.
I think they'll be fired up. They know that it's shit or bust really for them. You know, that's it. If they don't win, they're out. And for us, it's a massive game because we need to prove to everybody that we don't just win one game, that we win 2 games. You know, and that's what we need to do. That's our focus this week. That we need to get ourselves in the final, and we need to prove everybody that we can win 2 games on a bounce. You know, 3 games on a bounce. How many it takes to win it?
I think they're going to come out for it and they have to. I just don't know how they're going to react to having the 2 points docked off. It could go one of 2 ways. It could be a real blow, or it could really charge them up. And if it does charge them up and they come out chasing points, if they don't get anything out of us in the first 20 minutes, if it's scoreless or if we go in front, it's going to be very, very difficult, I think, for them to come back into the game.
Just do it for each other out here. Fuck everybody else. We'll fuck play with those guys. Let's do it for each other out here. It's the call. Fuck everybody else.
It's immense, you know. It's a massive feeling. Just the best part's playing, you know. The best part's playing and leading your team out, and you're at the front when you're singing the national anthem, and you feel so much pride because you're not only representing your country, representing everybody who plays rugby league in the country. You know, for them 80 minutes, you're representing them, everything they are to do with rugby league. You know, all rugby league fans watch Great Britain play, and you're representing them, and it's a massive buzz if you think of it that way. And I like to think about it that way because, you know, it gives you some emotion to play with.
Great Britain needed to avoid defeat to claim that final spot, but New Zealand, fired up after their 2-point deduction, were in uncompromising mood. Jamie Peacock is equally determined.
Go right, you've got them for numbers.
Play on. What do you want, coach? What do you want?
Take the 2, points difference.
Okay, yeah,
take the 2. Take the 2.
Right, yeah, that's that.
Trying to get the call out, wouldn't have it.
Alright, take some juice out of it.
It wasn't just that situation. He'd done it quite a few times already. He's one of them players that, you know, gets up and I think he's got that small man syndrome, angry man. You know, he gets tackled and he gets up and he starts pushing, and you know he'd got the penalty, and you know that should have been end of. But you know it felt like he's got the right to sort of like throw the ball at somebody's head, somebody's face, which, you know, and it just happened to be Danny Maguire at that time, so everybody sort of like thinks it's a Leeds connection thing, but you know it could have been anybody. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's dirty little cheap shots like that you know need to be taken out of the game, because you know you don't earn any respect for it. So you know it just sort of like riles you that people feel like they've got to do that, because the game's tough enough without doing, you know, crappy little things like that. After looking back onto it, I sort of like felt a bit disappointed that I didn't actually throw a punch, you know, because you know it did actually sort of like infuriate me, and you know he stood up to me and that, and it's sort of like, you know, it's a pride thing as well. And you know, looking back on it, I was sort of like a bit frustrated that I didn't do more about it. You know, more than likely the sensible side of me sort of like did come into it at that, because, you know, if I'd have totally lost it, I more than likely would have stuck the nut on properly or swung a punch.
If Senior goes, Gaz Ellis goes to centre.
What for? How can that? Why did you not reverse the penalty?
It is really a battle and a war, really. So, you know, as soon as anything kicks off, we know that somebody's going to be there to help you out. You know, because we've got to stick together, because you can't do this on your own.
Senior sin binned, and New Zealand took immediate advantage.
Short, that's when he should be hanging, not coming upstream. Field position, push and transition, as we said at the start of the game. We're going to play them at this end of the field.
Go with him, Gareth. Right. Go square.
Go get it. Convert.
Senior was back, and so it seemed with Great Britain. Gareth Ellis, the try scorer.
Dave, make sure Dave, Biggs and last plays. Let's test Webb.
Once more it is Webb who scores the Kiwis' third try.
That were the perfect opportunities for us to have an easy access to the final, and, you know, for some strange reason, you know, it's hard to put your finger on. We just don't seem to want to do something the easy way. You know, it's one thing that just seems to elude everybody, because, you know, there's a passion there, there's the want there, and everybody wants to do it. It just doesn't seem to, on the night, it just doesn't seem to be there.
The tourists were desperately chasing another score before half-time, and it looked as though they had got it.
We've got to get moving anyway. Speedo set.
You got it.
To the dismay of the Great Britain camp, the video referee rules against them.
Sometimes you've got to go through these things to experience them. There's no amount of planning or preparation can kind of prepare you for the thumping that we got. In reality, you know, we just weren't as good in contact, and we weren't as good in contact with the ball. So technically we knew the reasons for it, and maybe a little bit of after the Lord Mayor's parade with the Sydney game.
Yeah, I've got his runner. Who've you got? And then communication will be from the inside. Okay? So that's two things. One, hit, stick, grapple to zero. And when we've done that, we get line speed. And you people on the inside of B and C should pride yourselves in not letting these blokes get to fucking C for a tip-off. That's your job, to stop them from it. And that's appointment, nomination and good control. The second thing they're doing is whichever side they go to, they stay in there. So that means when you get three in the tackle, the other bloke should be looking to sprint back to where at the short side, so we can press on the short side. So that's our goal this second half. We've got 3 fucking tries in us, I know that, this second half. If you're patient and you're prepared to play, bang, bang, okay, 2 pass, find a kick, build some pressure.
You've still got 8 changes, that's 8 changes. Next time we get the ball, Danny Maguire's off, Leon Price goes to 6, Gaz Hope goes left side back row, Gaz Ellis goes right side back row, Lee Gilmore goes on the wing.
The effort cannot be faulted, but much like the first 40 minutes, the second half is ultimately a crushing disappointment. Stuart Fielding is in the wars again.
Stuart's a tough lad, and he collided with Gilly, and he got again a significant wound to his head. Now by the time I got there, the guys had packed it with Vaseline and goodness knows what to try and stop it bleeding, which is a great thing. But then that means when I come to stitch him up, it's very difficult because the whole area is very slippery, so I couldn't even wear any gloves to do that because the Vaseline and the effect of that on the gloves meant I couldn't hold the instrument, so it was quite a challenge.
6 stitches in my head and 3 in my chin, which yeah again is unusual because I've got a big square box on my head and I don't tend to get it split too well. And the ironic bit is I think it was done by Lee Gilmore, who's got a little pea head, so the pea against the box and the pea won.
So tough for us today, Brian. Fucking hammered us.
It puzzles me how, as a team, we can play so well and then play so poorly. I think a lot of credit's got to go down to New Zealand. I think they played outstanding. I think Stacey Jones was, fabulous for them. But it's one of those things, it's been a problem with, a lot of sides, English sides, it's maybe consistency.
I think as a group we took things a little bit for granted and expected the same performance without the same commitment, and we let ourselves down with our attitude, and we've got to be honest about that. And, it was a very disappointing game for us. It was obviously a great opportunity to cement our place in the final.
Maybe we went in a little bit lax, and sometimes if you go in like that you get burnt, and I think that's what happened.
We've got Brisbane and win now, coach.
You do that, you can.
I was saying to the coaching staff and I was saying to the manager, we're going to win this one. We got to back our efforts. So we were telling the players, let's back our efforts. So let's get in there again. But that thing at the back of your mind, the headlines had all been, well, the Poms are in the final and we've got our points taken off us and we're going to bash the Poms and hit them with baseball bats because they've done this and things. And it may have distracted us slightly. Who knows? But again, you've got to go through that kind of thing to recognise that, well, perhaps we weren't at the races on that day.
JP, where are you? I thought you were fucking outstanding, mate, as a captain and as a leader, and sometimes you don't get what you deserve when you're on that kind of thing. I think a lot of effort was put in by a lot of people. If you all 17 and 18, in fact all 25 turn up with the same attitude when we get back to Sydney on Monday, you'll win next week. I have no doubts about that.
JP's, he's the best captain I've had. I've had some good captains, he's the best.
He's one of them captains that goes out on the field and you know that he's not going to let you down.
And he may be a man of few words. He only speaks when he thinks he has to speak, which is a sign of a pretty intelligent bloke. He only says things that are pertinent to the team and to what we want to achieve.
I think his performance in defeat against New Zealand last week was probably one of the greatest test performances there's been in adversity. He was phenomenal.
It's probably the best form I've played for my country, and that's really, I think, the biggest test because you're playing against the best.
Is everybody clear there?
Yeah, just another thing, tonight, let's not go out and get smashed. I want to be on this week. We've got one shot at this week, so we train well Monday, Tuesday. Whenever else we train, so let's fucking be on Monday. We've got one go at it. Like I said, the Kiwis did, so we're not better than beating them up in Brisbane.
They're very beatable. We get this right, your chance to achieve something special and go on and win it. But to do that, you've got to keep off it tonight. I'm disappointed if anybody's on it tonight. Let's go, boys, have some lunch.
No longer did what he did, and it's been documented about it now. That's just where long he is. If he'd been sat in a pub having a few beers, and it wouldn't have been so bad. But he was on a plane and was just a bit loud on a plane. That's how I perceive it anyway.
Turmoil in the Great Britain camp. Star halfback Sean Long is about to fly out of Australia. His Tri Nations campaign is over.
The news that Sean Long is flying home fuels furious media speculation.
Great Britain's Rugby League Tri Nations campaign has been rocked tonight by news halfback Sean Long has been sent home for behaving badly off the field. Team management refutes the claim, saying it's not a disciplinary problem, but he's returned home for personal reasons.
So you dismiss suggestions that there was any sort of disciplinary problem?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No discipline problems, no gambling problems. What was the other one? No football issues either. He's gone home for personal reasons.
So people who've been on the plane say that he was very drunk at the time coming back, and that perhaps he shouldn't even been allowed on the plane. What do you say to those allegations?
Well, I certainly didn't witness that. It'd be silly not to say they hadn't had a drink, but I'd also have to reinforce that this group has been an exemplary group of tourists. For being out here for 6 weeks, there are no issues in respect of alcohol, there's been no issues in respect of behaviour. And what was a minor issue on the plane, sometimes in these situations get blown out of all proportion, can't it?
His wife was, had a couple of weeks ago, and I've been there myself, and I know how difficult that can be, and it's 12,000 miles away. Things have not gone right in New Zealand, and it got blown out of proportion a little bit. What he did, he didn't do anything massively wrong, in my eyes. He just had a few beers in the wrong place probably, and that's it. And then, like I say, went to go home after that, and I can see where he's coming from. Some of it I can't, some of it I can. It's one of them.
Yeah, it did surprise me, because we had a meeting as after the New Zealand game, we had, as senior players, we had a meeting, and we showed concern that we needed to sort of be focused on next week, and for whatever his reasons for what he did, these things happen in rugby league, things get out of control, and he's made his decision to go home.
It's not been an easy decision, but I've not just done it overnight. I've thought about it for quite some time, and I'm a bit upset because I feel like I'm laying the lads down and all that. But I think it's something I need to do. I need to get home and speak to see my family as soon as possible.
And the only time that you probably worry about Sean is when he's quiet, and he's maybe been quiet for the last 2 weeks, just maybe not himself, sort of a bit reserved, and it's been like waking up with a grumpy old Rod Stewart lookalike sat next to me. So he's got his reasons to go, and I fully support him as a friend and as a teammate.
As a player, I'm disappointed Sean's gone home, but I'm not disappointed in Sean for going home. I'm just disappointed because we've lost a great player, and he's a great leader, and I know what he brings to a team, but I'm not disappointed in Sean as a person because he made a decision at the time which he feels is right, and if that's the decision that he wanted to make as a friend and a teammate, I'd fully support him in that.
They're the best bunch of lads I've been involved with. That's the only thing. I feel like I'm laying them down a bit. But then again, if I kick on and carry on and play, I can't give them 100%. I know I'm not gonna fight because I'm missing home, and I feel like if I stop, I'm laying the lads down. If I go, I'm laying the lads down. So I'm in a no-win situation. But I wish all the boys luck. I think they're awesome. Great bunch of guys, and just wish them all the luck in the road.
every word that comes out of your mouth is so important. There's been a tournament full of sweeping statements, people making big statements about the tournament and about various things that I think can knock people around a little bit. Now this statement's by Brian Noble, who supplied his staff with white boots. Bigged it up as well, but he refused to wear white boots. I think him and Moza got their heads together and said, yeah, front rowers, not hard men, we wear black boots. So the challenge for us was basically, I'll run naked on Manly Beach if you can come up with a photograph that shows me wearing white boots.
Bad head. Scroll down.
Oh.
David Hobbs. John Hamer.
Robbie, we printed one off here just in case you're unsure.
You doctored this. You snow-baked it in, man. I want an independent committee. I'll do it. You'll have the evidence. I will do it.
That's snow-baked. That is not the.
It was knocked out anyhow, Nobby.
Robster.
Hey, and I reckon they were the first white boots ever made. What's that, 1963?
Sign it for you, man. They've got a permit for you, sign it for you.
Robes, you're an honest lad. Come here. Has that been snow-baked in or not?
No.
Oh, come on, help me. Help me. Listen, $50. They look like snow-baked boots, don't they? Well, that's my second one. That's a black one.
That's your tongue off you.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? If I prove this to be a fake, you two are doing the rub.
Even the grass at the front of it, you can see there. The grass in front of your boot, all that. I told you I'd seen one, didn't I?
Pretty convincing, isn't it?
I've never played in white boots in the front row, especially in my era. It would have been worse than playing dressed as a girl. That's the only thing I can say, and that's no disrespect to girls, because I know a lot of you play rugby league.
Send me home. I'm going home with Longy. Responsibility's going to fall on you a little bit this week. That versatility though is what the team needs from you. You're a fucking good player and don't forget that.
I'm a good player, Dave, I'm a great player.
You fucking are a great player, mate. Don't forget it. Huh? My phone, mate, I'll play it to you. Opposite side. Make him work, find that feet, that's it. Got you again, he's in your sides. Yeah, late feet, good work, Stewie. That's it, nice feet. Yeah.
When you want to work someone, you automatically shoot off your line. Whereas with Kiwis, we didn't talk about that. I talk about smashing it. Get your line speed anyway, even when you're fucking half tired. So if we get his mindsets round, that every time they carry the ball, we want to fucking give it them, then you get the line speed, because to hit people hard, you have to have line speed.
Yeah, got your shoes. Tie it. The other bit that helps you on that line speed and your mapping issue is, once Keith goes, I've got Rob Burrow, fucking hell, how confident does that make the blokes next to you? That little bit of point. I've got fucking Rob Burrow. If you can't live I've got fucking Rob Burrow, Keith. Who you got? It gives you that confidence to go fucking whoosh and go in and get them. Get in there, take it upon yourself.
In the NRL, I think the coaching system, the youth system and everything is built around some similar very key concepts of the game, and the fundamentals of their strategy and the structure, through the game is similar. So when they get together sort of collectively at junior level or at professional level and then international level, they're playing very similar type of game. In England, I think if you look at the way that, just for example, we play the game at St Helens is a world away from, a team like Leeds will play the game, and that's not saying that one team's got it right and one team's got it wrong. It's just different philosophies on the game.
Yeah, so because we're not going to leave two there on 25, I'll come.
In some respects, it's easy for the Australians to come together, but it's one of the things which could, make us a good international team, is the fact that we're not so predictable, and we have got that variety behind us, which means we can sort of revert to other styles of play. So it's not definitely a negative thing that we all play different styles of play and come together.
You can go next, lad. That's all right. Stick it that side. Stick it that side.
I reckon Woody will be in even with the quiff you go.
Sure, I'm bigger than you, Glee. I'm taller than you. You're fatter. Oh, you are.
Sure. I am a dwarf. I feel I'm shrinking. On 1, 3, 2, 1.
3 days to the crucial Brisbane Test, and conditioning coach Carl Jennings is in innovative mood.
Everybody's going to say win real loud, because we're going to win. Win. 10 wins. We're getting there. We're getting there. 5 goals here. The best place. Good. Nice thing. It's like a flea on a dog. Oh, nice move.
Wrestling is a massive part of the sport. Two of the keenest participants are Stuart Fielding and Lee Gilmore.
Time!
With Sean Long at home in the UK and Brian Carney out injured, the selection committee were locked in serious debate. At the heart of it, Noble and Sharp.
There's a mutual respect there. There's a respect for one another as head coaches, and we do lean on each other heavily during the season. We do speak often enough, and we do give advice to each other and ask each other's opinions during the year.
I think they're outstanding coaches in their own right. They've got their own ideas, and that's what you want. You need to be doing this, Brian. You need to be doing that, Brian. I said, no, I don't. No, but you do, Brian, because we need to do this. And well, I don't think we need to do that. We need to do it this way. So it can get quite heated.
I don't change the way I coach. I don't all of a sudden become an assistant coach with a mindset that's different to the mindset I have at Huddersfield, and nor does Brian expect me to act like an assistant. He's very forward thinking. He's very encouraging, and encourages me to act like an head coach, which makes my job easier.
The winning team for Brisbane is Paul Wellens at fullback, Leon Price on the right wing with Martin Gleeson, Keith Senior and Gareth Rayner on the left, Danny Maguire and Richard Horn. Well done, Richard. At 7.
There was a rumour maybe to go with Danny and Leon, and like I say, when he named the team this morning, I was like, oh, get in there, I'm in. So no, really chuffed.
Joy for Horn meant heartbreak again for Rob Burrows.
No one likes to be sitting on the sidelines, especially when you're club-wise, you're used to being in, week out, and cope with it okay. Like I say, everyone's got you through it, but to finally actually get a shot is, oh God, yeah, big weight off your shoulders, and thinking, oh, I've come all this way for nothing, if you know what I mean, and not even in his plans. And when he named me in the squad, I was just, oh, fantastic, get to have a crack at him.
How many people have died doing this?
Today.
None today.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Get used to breathing, just see what it's like. Take 2
That's it. Take your time, there's no rush.
Congratulations. I thought you were gone then. Yeah, one. Who was it? What's that? It was you. Hit you on the head. Right at the end. Tail. Oh, they did really well underwater. No problems. Obviously very comfortable in the water. Which is surprising. Seeing through English. Did well.
Nice hat.
I can feel it already, I can sniff it on you that you're ready to play this team again. Because once again, they're disrespecting you, saying this competition's all over. Well, I know that we think differently.
It's the Australian psyche. They try to dismantle you, dismantle every facet of you as a person, and that's why you're tested over here, especially in every way that you carry about yourself, your everyday ways. And we've been, I think, an exemplary group of people on this trip. We've made friends wherever we've gone. We've behaved accordingly, and we've put in at practice. I have nothing but pride and admiration, and I think the players deserve and have probably earned the right to be respected here. But we can reinforce that message with our performance this weekend.
If we don't all push on each other and shape up and get ready to play not one game this weekend but another game next weekend is where we're going to with this team, then we need to have that composure and confidence to play at their end of the field. And it's all down to your attitude, your mentality, and fucking telling them you're getting nothing from us, absolutely nothing. Anything you get on this piece of grass, and that's all it is tomorrow night. There'll be 50,000 people on this piece of grass. But it's a piece of grass and it's a piece of field and it's anywhere. It's like your own backyard. Because you're that focused, you know yourselves. You knew you were going to win this game in Sydney. You could snip it on yourselves, and I fucking certainly could. And I'm starting to get that feel here as well.
Very, very impressive stadium. The fact that Brisbane play week in, week out is very impressive, and get so many to come and watch, and really looking forward to playing here.
Wrestle, numbers in, don't get bored. Don't get bored, make it messy. Then what do we get? I'll give you a tip, we get line speed, don't we? That's what we want. Line speed in the faces, making it a fucking tough day for them at the office. Got to be aggressive in contact.
I enjoy working with elite players. I like catching up with, particularly some of the Saints boys who I coached a couple of years ago. I've got a great relationships with those people, and making new friends and relationships with the players is one of the massive bonuses of coaching at international level. And working with some of the greatest players in the world is obviously a big bonus for me. And bouncing ideas and working with fellow coaches and experiencing locking arms with international coaches on the very top echelon of rugby leagues, massive for me, and I really enjoy it. I really do.
On behalf of everyone, not just these supporters but the hundreds who are in Brisbane, all the best for Saturday night, and we know you can do it.
The official supporters club were also at the Suncorp Stadium, and it was a chance for them to meet their favourites.
Can I have a check between you two? Of course you can. Hey, and don't be squeezing me, knocking me about.
Okay, squeeze up for a little man.
All right, there you are then. There's a little man coming. Yeah. All right, done and dusted. All right, Sam. Yes. Thanks very much. You want to be in?
Great stadium, isn't it?
I just want you to have a look through this footage together, no staff, just you look at the footage together and have a chat before you get on the bus in relation to how we've got to finish today's practice and how we've got to prepare for tomorrow. So without further ado, second test against Australia, and some cop in front of loads of people. The fullback will be Paul Wellens.
Obviously, with the results in previous years, we've not had as many wins as we'd like. You sort of may occasionally get that self-doubt, but I think it's foolish to ever walk onto a rugby field and sort of believe that you can't win. I mean, that's ridiculous. Every time I take the field personally, I'm going on the field to win a game of rugby, regardless whether it's for club and country. And although results for Great Britain haven't gone as well as we liked over the past few years, I still go onto the field, you know, every game wanting to win a game.
Left centre, Keith Senior.
With the Australians, well, it's been at the moment, there's a lot of hatred between the two countries, and you know, we've been disrespected that much that, you know, we want it to be a physical game, and it's got a lot more personal over the years than what it has been. We're a proud nation, we're a proud set of players, and you know, we go out on that field week in, week out to do our best. And you know, like I said before, we've not had the greatest international, but we know we're a good side and we're a good set of players, and we don't deserve the amount of disrespect that they feel that they can give us.
Then Captain Jamie Peacock.
I sometimes absolutely hate the job, you know, to be honest. I feel like sometimes there's pressure on it to speak too much, and there's not things to say all the time, you know. I feel like you said, there's a time and place to say things, but I do enjoy when I'm playing, thinking, right, you know, I've got to set an example here and I've got to play well. You know, I don't think your words carry any weight whatsoever if you're not performing yourself.
I'm just going to be astonished about how I feel about things at the moment. I think other people are feeling the same. You know, the strain of this place is fucking pissing me off totally.
Have them days, I think, when you're on tour where everything pisses you off, absolutely pisses you off. You know, you spend all day like that. You should probably have one day out of, I don't know, 10 like that, but all day everything annoys you, you know, about the place, and that's how I felt that day.
Everything about this place is pissing me off at the moment. You know, the people and the views and all stuff like that. I don't think there's not much I can do about it during the week, but it's when I get to go out and play, you know, I think that's one reason we've been playing well, because I've just been channeling everything into fucking just giving it these boys who's playing against the league.
He's one of them blokes that's really passionate, and I've never seen him as angry about wanting to beat an Australian side because of everything that's happened. And like I said, you know, he's a proud bloke, and he's been sick of being disrespected by him.
You know, I think I can see in people's eyes, you know, that you're all as pissed off as I am with stuff like that. So just let's go out and nail this training session and turn up with the right attitude on Saturday. And we'll beat these boys. We've just got 8 days to go out and we'll turn up on Saturday, beat these, and then beat them again in the final. Let's just fucking go do it. Sick of hearing about all this shit from them.
All this anger and the things that people say and the way people are about stuff, I'm going to use this when I'm playing. And I could see other people were feeling a bit that way. We've been out there 6-7 weeks, you know, the result hadn't gone the way we wanted before New Zealand, and I could look at other people, and I've been speaking to other people, and I could see they were kind of feeling that way, and I thought, instead of moping about it, I'm not moping about it, you know. If I'm feeling this way, I'm going to do something about it, and that's what I said in my speech, the only way I can do something about it is by playing well and winning.
If the squad had hoped for a quiet morning's preparation, they were to be disappointed. For the first time on tour, the heat was a genuine issue for the coaches.
The intensity is governed by the coaches and by how the players react as well. Volume's important as well. You don't want to be out here too long. You know, when it is a hot day, you need to be smart and you need to look after them volume-wise. And I think volume then affects intensity. If you've got low volume and it's not a long session, then you know you tend to get a little bit more intensity in there.
Brian Walnuts.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
I'm trying to find out who it was. Because I hate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. You hit Mason for us on the weekend?
Oh, he's not playing, is he?
Oh, isn't he?
No, he's suspended. Week after the game.
Good luck. Excuse me, what's your name?
Oh,
well done.
hi, mate, okay? Yeah, that's right, mate.
It's the international game. It's what we all play for, and it's looked upon by a lot more people. And the way Great Britain's not been the most successful international side, since I've been playing for 10 years. We're not exactly won major trophies in it, so you tend to feel a lot of pressure in that respect because we've been written off so many times, and it's about time that we turned things like that around.
I suppose it's war without death. The best versus the best. We know the challenge. We'll not take a backward step. There's nothing better than getting one over on the Australians. They like to crow about what they've done and what they haven't done. It'll be about our attitude as much as our talent and our ability to play. We respect them. They should respect us as well.
David, he's the coin toss winner for today.
It's cool. Your class out to
Go ahead.
I'll kick off.
Kick off, Mr. Weaver.
We're just
We understand the nature of the challenge. I personally, I've said this before about the Tri-Nations, for Great Britain, I think it's the toughest challenge in world sport, and I would probably try and statistically and emotionally prove that with people that come from other sports. But we knew the challenge, and not one person has whinged about what we've had to do or what we've got to do. What we've got to do is win a game, and that's our focus, and that's the realism of this squad.
I've been rock bottom, if I'm honest. So for me, I just want to have a really, really big game and do what I can. I can't run out there. I'm not going to be stepping, scoring tries and all that. That's not my game. When I look at my game and I sit there and I look and say, yeah, I've done that well. I've not missed a tackle there. I've took the ball up there where I needed to be. I've made good yards there. That's my game. I'm not going to be, it's not flamboyant and the plaudits and the headlines. I just want to look and think, yeah, I'm happy with it. I've done my job.
In the first three tests, the opening exchanges had been tight and tense. In Brisbane, however, Australia ripped Great Britain apart.
Ollie, Danny, mini pendulum, let's work on it.
Get forward up this line. Complete.
It'll come if you squeeze on the floor. Test it out a bit more.
They're going to be one out here, let's hammer them.
They just establish field position. They're good at building pressure. Modern sport's about building pressure. Wherever you're looking at, whether you're looking at association football or rugby union, or whether you're looking at American football, it's about building the right kind of pressure, and something will happen. And that's been at the right end of the field. People talk about field position as well. To score tries, you have to be at the right end of the field, and the Aussies are very good at that.
Be confident, yeah. Be confident, yeah, no problem. We'll work together, guys.
Let's put a stop to their roll.
It's still that ruck play. It's a ruck on the floor, guys. Squeeze a bit more. Have a bit more on the floor. Keep going with it, guys! Gazot said he's okay. JP said he's blown a bit, but he's going to try and push through, so give him a minute. Gaz Ellis! Gaz! Feel all right? Yes, they're both okay. Both back rows are okay. So it's time to keep an eye on JP. He said he was blowing a bit.
Danny Maguire's score gave Great Britain some hope.
Raises are working well for us. Raises are working well.
Within minutes, the Australians were over again. Their half-time advantage would be 14 points.
Thinking about the fucking final halfway through this half, guaranteed I'm thinking about next week. You fucking stick in there halfway through this fucking half, we'll take the game. Just fucking stick in there. Leave nothing in here, right? Ask them to win first, let's fucking go. Speed the fucking game up when you got the ball. Speed the fucking game up, boys.
Oh, well on. Yeah. Well on.
In Sydney, Great Britain's captain Jamie Peacock scored immediately after the restart to take the game away from Australia. In Brisbane, Australia's captain Darren Lockyer did likewise, and the tourists were teetering.
On our line, you've got to play press, you've got to keep coming forward, you can't paddle on your own line, you've got to get up there, keep coming forward, we're giving them room.
Once again, Noble's gutsy side responded, Hock sending Senior over.
Speedo sets, and everybody pushing! Everybody pushing!
Fight to play the ball and short balls, push.
Fight to play the ball, short balls and push. Keep on the front foot. Gaz Ellis has played well.
Lockyer's drop goal is a dagger through British hearts.
Absolutely shattered. I thought I got off to a bad start and got ourselves back into the game, and I felt, you know, we've got a chance of winning this, as I felt in all games. Probably 4 or 5 years ago when we used to play Australia and New Zealand, it was always, we're just in the games, whereas even the games we've lost over the 4 games we've had, there's been quite a bit of times we've been dominating the games, and I think we've been unlucky in some of them, and that was my overriding thought, thinking, you know, we've dominated quite long parts of these games, and they've won again, you know, they've managed to win again. It just frustrates you, and just gutted. Brian's really good at doing stuff like that, you know. Nobby's speaking to you in them kind of situations, and you know, it was good of him to say the things he said. You know, he said that I'd led the team well, and it was good to hear it from your coach. You know, it was nice to hear that. You know, I'm probably embarrassed now by what I said afterwards. You know, I got a bit emotional on that, but I just felt for all the other guys as well. You know, that it wasn't for a lack of effort from the blokes. You know, I'm wanting to try, and wasn't through a lack of, you know, being good players and good guys. They managed to get away with the win, and it just wasn't to be for us. And I felt sorry, you know, for them blokes, you know, because I imagine they were all feeling the same as me. And you could. I think we spoke in Sydney about, you look in people's eyes and you can tell when people want to win, and you can look in people's eyes when they've given everything they've got, and you could see that in the dressing room. You know, it meant a lot to a lot of other people.
Hey, fucking fantastic job, boys. You didn't get what you deserve, but sometimes you like to do. What you do is you lift the shoulders and walk out this stadium.
The main thing with sport is that you want results, but I think Nobby said he was proud of people's efforts, and I was proud of people's efforts, and you know, the way everyone stuck together as a team. That's the thing you can be proud of. You know, you're proud of playing for your country, obviously. You know, that's a main factor, and you're just proud of the people's efforts in the game. You know, like I said before, I think we were unlucky with some calls in some games, and even we weren't playing particularly well, but the effort was always there.
Australia won the Tri-Nations final in thrilling fashion, beating New Zealand in sudden death extra time. Jamie Peacock was voted 2006 International Forward of the Year. Great Britain as a team will be retired in 2007. The players will then line up for their individual countries at test level. Great Britain remain the only team never to have won the Tri-Nations.
I'm saying it's difficult for us to win it, but rugby players like adversity, you know, and things against them, and it is difficult for us to win it, but that's what probably it means some more if you win it. I know when we was out there, even with all the things we've had against us, you know, the season we've had and the adversity we had out there, we still had a shot at it, and I think that just shows how good a players Great Britain have got.